I'll give you a whole pack. 5 suspects accused of running a terror training camp in New Mexico could be free on bond at any moment because the judge said there was no specific threat, but the community and police say they are outraged. According to investigators, the camp was full of children who were allegedly being trained to conduct school shootings. They were also being starved, allegedly. The 2 men and 3 women were arrested August 3rd, living in a filthy makeshift structure with 11 kids who were reportedly malnourished. Prosecutors say one of the suspects trained the children how to use firearms, including tactical skills and speed loading. Judge Sarah Backus said prosecutors failed to prove the group was a danger to the community and didn't make the case for keeping them in custody while they await trial. Breaking tonight, authorities had to clear the courthouse because of threats against the judge. But with allegations of terror training and child abuse, why on earth would they be free until trial? Joining me now, criminal defense attorney David Bruno. Welcome back, David.
Hello, Kennedy.
So break this down for me, because obviously when we talk about criminal justice reform, we want judges to have some sort of discretion as to how they sentence people and who goes out on bond and who is held until trial. This seems like an odd decision, but the judge has a history of this. What is the reaction?
Yeah, well, this is the first step in criminal justice reform, and it goes to bail. There are a lot of states throughout the country that have overhauled their bail process, and New Mexico is one of them. I actually practice in New Jersey, which has also done this. And in fact, there's a presumption that people are going to be released. Believe it or not, they've moved away from monetary bail to this risk assessment. Now, the one issue here is that the only charges that these people have are child abuse. I mean, if they were to be charged with conspiracy to commit acts of terrorism, or even there's a 3-year-old that was found dead on the property, if there's manslaughter or murder charges, there would have been a better argument for the state to detain them. They did not. They stuck with these child abuse charges, and the judge just didn't buy it. She said that you haven't presented a plan. You're asking me to make a great leap, and I am just not doing that. That's why they were released. All
right, so, you know, you have the kids who were saying that they were being taught how to shoot up banks and a school, and that the dead child, their presumed relative, they were told was going to be resurrected as Jesus and was going to lead them which groups of people to attack.
Yeah, that's the big one, okay? There's a 3-year-old that's dead. One of the defendants actually abducted his son from Georgia, and he's not being released because he's going to be extradited to Georgia on the abduction. But they are in the process of trying to figure out how that body died. There's one of the children that has a first-hand account of how they were trying to extract the demons from him, right? I don't know why the state and the prosecutors are sitting on that. Because if there's a murder, if there's a manslaughter, if there's a child abuse that results in death, they would have had a much better argument, but they're holding back for some reason. And they didn't charge the Terrorism Act, so the judge was like, okay, there's child abuse, but where are the other charges? I could see how the judge made that decision, unfortunately.
Interesting. Well, you know, it'll be very curious to see what happens with these people, and it obviously requires more explanation. I don't care who you are. You cannot harm children. There's no excuse for that, and I think this judge and obviously these adults have a lot to answer for. David, thank you so much.
Pleasure. Good to see you.
You too. Thanks.